Hey, what's up YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at how to break bad habits, which I know is a really hard thing to do for people of all skill levels, whether you're like super beginner or super advanced. We all have bad habits, sadly. It's just a fact of life. And even more so in a game like Street Fighter 6, where it's easy to have really bad habits, in my opinion. You know, first and foremost, the most important thing for getting rid of bad habits is you have to know what your bad habit is. If you don't know what your bad habit is, you can't fix it. Seems a little bit obvious, but of course you have to know what the bad habit is. So what I recommend doing is when you have a bad habit, you can either just, depending on what kind of learner you are, you can either just think of it in your head, you can write it down on your phone like as a note, or you can actually write it down like on a piece of paper. And then identify what the bad habit is. Someone in chat said the bad habit was teching the throw and doing drive reversal when my opponent is in burnout. I'm gonna guess by teching the throw you mean always doing delayed throw tech on defense. Delayed throw teching is something a lot of people have a bad habit of. Myself included. I'm trying to work on that. The best way to undo a bad habit is first you have to identify what it is. So for this person in chat, it was doing too many throw techs or doing too many delayed throw checks. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue of those two is doing too much delayed throw tech, because it's really easy to blow that up with shimmy. So then how do you undo a bad habit? The problem with bad habits is most of us do bad habits subconsciously. We don't even make that active choice. And the way I always kind of explain it to people is, remember when you're like a kid and your mom tells you like, don't flush the toilet, it's broken. Like whatever you do, don't flush it. Remember, when you go to the washroom, don't flush the toilet. And you're like, okay mom, yeah, I got it, don't flush the toilet. You go to the washroom, what do you do as soon as you get up off that seat? It's like frame 1 you flush it. Not even frame 1. Frame 0 activation. Right, Zangief command grab, if you're not holding up before it happens, you're done. Exactly the same thing, because you're doing it subconsciously. So in order to break those subconscious habits, you have to be, number 1, really aware that that habit exists, and then number 2, expose yourself to a situation where you can actively remove that bad habit. So let's say you're always doing delayed throw tech. What I would recommend doing, go into a custom room with a friend, or if you don't have friends or people who don't, or if you don't have friends who play the game, go into Battle Hub. This way you don't have to tank your MR, and just tell yourself before you go into the match, I'm never going to push delayed throw tech. Ever. I'm not even going to break throws. I'm going to eat every single throw in this game. I don't care if I eat 100 throws in a row. I don't care if I go 100-0 against the person I'm fighting against. I'm just never going to do a throw on defense. And then you just run your matches and you get used to never using that option. Then once you get used to it, then you can do the set later on, or maybe the next day you're going to say, okay, I'm only going to do a throw tech in situations where I won't get killed for it. So let's say you have like full health or more than half health, make a rule for yourself. Say if I have more than 60% health, or if I have more than half health and my opponent has 0 super meter, then I'm going to do delayed throw tech. But if I have less than half health and my opponent has like lots of super meter and lots of drive meter, then I'm never going to do delayed throw tech. And I'm going to replace it with something else. You could replace it with like a delayed jab, a delayed crouching medium kick if you have a crouching medium kick that's drive cancelable. Unfortunately, JP does not, but that would be terrible if you did. Terrible, I mean really strong. You can just replace it with something. You can replace it with like a backdash, anything. So then you can take that bad habit and try replacing it with a different defensive technique, and then you can try to put that into your gameplay. Then once you've gotten that habit of always delayed throw teching on defense out of your system, might take a day, might take 2 days, might take a week, it depends how often you play this game and how fast of a learner you are, then you can go into your rank matches and you can actually make active decisions about when you want to do the delayed throw tech, because you're not just mashing on this stuff subconsciously every single time you're playing the game. So that's my advice for breaking bad habits. We use delayed throw tech as an example, but it could work for anything. It could work for offense, could work for defense, could work for movement, you know, your drive rush cancel decision making when you're going to spend bar. It works for anything. So do those tips. If you do those, I'm sure it's going to help you break bad habits. But again, just to reiterate, the most important thing is you have to know what the bad habit is, and then you have to either remove it completely or replace it with something better. Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!